Good evening. Parents and principals are horrified to learn of a social media hate page publishing critical material about local teenagers.
The ugly messaging and lies that are being spread across a range of social media channels are taking a toll on the victims.
It's a disgusting social media account that's posting anonymous and hurtful material targeting local teenagers.
There was an incident where I was really badly bashed and it made it to the account, and all the account says is like how I'm going to get bashed again or how I look good in a grave.
The 16-year-old and her friend Mackenzie Rayner, who are Year 11 students at Wodonga Senior Secondary College, have been targeted, along with hundreds of others.
They've been saying some really, mean stuff. It's all, made up, so it's pretty disgusting. It's about, suicide and stuff. It started off with, cheating and stuff, but now it's escalated to, suicide, and it's just way out of hand now.
The hateful messaging spreads well beyond the classroom.
I haven't been able to go to work because there's been stages where what's been posted on this account, people have actually showed up to my work. So it's come to the point where work doesn't want me there. I'm getting too stressed. The account's just taken a toll on not only me.
The victims and their families, as well as the school, have no idea who's behind this callous act.
Very difficult for us to control. It's very difficult for us to monitor. Most of it happens off-site.
And countless efforts have been made to report and shut down the accounts, but to no avail, with new profiles made the minute one eventually closes.
Whose only intent is to harass and humiliate these kids. And I really fear for their mental and physical health and how that's going to impact them today, tomorrow and into the future.
This mother has remained anonymous out of fear her child will attract more harassment.
We've got a fairly well-ingrained wellbeing process at our school where all our staff are trained in noticing and inquiring about any issues that might be occurring, and then referral to our wellbeing team.
Wodonga Senior Secondary College has been made aware of the content since the start of the school year and is joining the Victorian Department of Education in calling on social media companies to take greater responsibility.
I'm shocked. I don't know how you could sit behind a screen, and not only to the person that owns the account, but the people that send things through to the account, hating on other people, or I just don't think they realise how much of a toll it can take on people's mental health.
And if you or anyone you know needs support, contact Kids Helpline on 1800 55 1800. Jessica Whitty, 7 News.
Good evening. 3 women have been charged after police officers were allegedly assaulted during a brawl in Lavington. Officers were called to a disturbance on Boomerang Drive with a man allegedly armed with a knife. Our reporter Jessica Whitty joins us now. And Jess, what more can you tell us about this?
Nick, police arrived on scene just before 7 o'clock last night and were told around 20 people were allegedly involved in the brawl and all knew each other. Police then attended a home on Rumour Crescent where they arrested a 28-year-old woman. But immediately after, officers were set upon by a group of young women as the 28-year-old allegedly tried to flee. It will be alleged in court that officers were kicked and punched. The 3 women aged 23, 24 and 28 have all been granted conditional bail to reappear in court at later dates. Inside this unassuming shed is something out of a sci-fi movie, but experts say the dream of being brought back from the dead is just not a reality and may never be.
Good evening. Officers have descended on the border in droves as part of a major crackdown on outlaw motorcycle gangs.
Police intelligence shows bikie gangs are travelling further up the Hume in a desperate attempt to regain their power.
Dodging task force headquarters in capital cities and establishing a presence on the border.
Police FBO! Police FBO! Police FBO!
But there's nowhere left to hide as police intelligence sparks a joint 5-day operation targeting outlaw motorcycle gangs and their criminal networks.
What we've been doing in the metro areas has been highly effective, pushing out some of those activities out into the regional areas. So as they move, we move as well, following their activities.
Cracking down on a nationwide billion-dollar industry and putting a dent on local crime.
Oh, there's no doubt criminals see the border as to their advantage at times, but all the more reason we work together.
31 people have been arrested across New South Wales and Victoria, including 4 in Albury and 12 south of the border. On Thursday, a Barnawatha property believed to be a Finks OMCG clubhouse was searched with small quantities of drugs seized. That same day, a West Wodonga man was arrested with officers allegedly seizing weapons including explosives, knives and ammunition. Today, a 39-year-old man was arrested and a Wodonga property searched with police allegedly locating drugs, paraphernalia and items believed to have been stolen.
What we're seeing is a number of people who are being recruited into these clubs are being asked to commit crimes that are ending up impacting their lives, impacting the lives of their family, resulting in family violence incidents and the like.
In North Albury at a Wingara Street home, a 37-year-old man was charged with firearm and ammunition possession. It's alleged police uncovered a gel blaster, ammunition, Finks OMCG paraphernalia, electronic devices and a Harley-Davidson believed to be stolen. Earlier that morning on Roper Place, West Albury, a 39-year-old man was allegedly found driving disqualified while refusing a roadside drug test. And in the afternoon, officers attended an Albury home suspected of being a clubhouse for the Black Ewlands OMCG. They allegedly seized documents detailing alcohol pricing.
Again, probably because we've been so effective in really decimating some of the club's numbers. They've been desperately trying to bolster their power base again.
What the hell?
A total of 25 charges have been laid in New South Wales, including over 100 vehicle stops and the seizure of 3 firearms, 4 knives, large quantities of ammunition, $20,000 worth of cannabis and MDMA. As items undergo forensic analysis and inquiries continue, police say further arrests are likely. Jessica Whitty, 7 News. A pothole grant that is not nearly enough to fix Federation Council's worst potholes. Farmers say 2 wet years have not caused the issue, but accelerated what was already a deteriorating asset.
The maintenance hasn't been done, and the reason the maintenance hasn't been done is because they've been taking money out of the roads budgets and putting it into projects that have been overspent on budgets. You know, bright new shiny projects within councils that make everybody feel warm and fuzzy, but they actually add nothing to the bottom line.
That is the road network, which has huge ramifications on the entire economy.
So it's been a real issue for us to operate our machinery and just get our farm produce to market. Like, we're having to cancel contracts or delay contracts. We can't get our wheat or canola out the gate some days because it's been so bad the last couple of weeks especially.
This is one of the main thoroughfares between Mulwala and Girana, especially during harvest, but its condition has forced traffic elsewhere onto other decaying roads. Not only a threat to the economy, but also lives.
You should expect that when you go to work each day, that you are able to come home and see your family on return trip. And if you're not able to do that, then something's desperately wrong. In a country that claims itself to be first world, the state of the roads are third world at best.
And council agrees, identifying the road backlog and need for repair back to 2016 following the merger.
It's a big challenge, but that's exactly what we're going out for, a special rates variation to try and get on top of this and gradually but surely had better road facilities right throughout the council.
Council says the close to $800,000 grant from the state government will be spent on roads with heavy traffic and identified by its residents. Jessica Whitty, 7 News.
Cathy McGowan spoke exclusively to Prime 7's Jessica Whitty today.
She's the godmother of a movement which brought down the Morrison government.
Don't underestimate the power of a community movement. Don't underestimate the power of us.
Trailblazing former Indi MP Cathy McGowan is being credited as the inspiration behind the remarkable success of progressive independence in the federal election.
Our work is not yet done. Don't get mad, get elected.
The so-called teal wave put an almighty crack in the two-party system, sweeping inner-city electorates from Sydney's northern beaches to Bayside Melbourne.
So what I'm really pleased about is so many other good people have put their hand up, been courageous, and then they've got the support of their community behind them. And it gives me great hope that that the community's voice will be heard, as opposed to, the big funders who are putting huge amounts of money in, or the factions, or the invisible people behind the scene.
The woman who knocked off the federal treasurer in Kooyong, Dr. Monique Ryan, attributing Ms. McGowan as a driving inspiration behind her campaign, saying she transformed democracy in Indi through genuine conversations with her community.
Why would you want to be a member of parliament? It's a horrible job. And I said, no. If you're an independent, you've got a platform, you represent your community, you can really help people. And my experience of being a member of parliament was wonderful.
During her 2 terms as the member for Indi, Ms. McGowan fought hard for regional development, a national integrity commission and drought policy.
I've run the first leg of an amazing relay.
And while she now lives contentedly on her hilltop farm in the Indigo Valley, Kathy says she'll continue inspiring and mentoring a new generation of political leaders.
So one of the amazing things that happened, particularly in the independent seats, was young people getting involved in politics. And I just want to do a special call out to Catholic College in Wodonga. There was a teacher there a few years ago, her name was Det Turner, and she loved politics. And she brought up a generation of young people who really cared about it.
Jessica Whitty, Prime 7 News.